Peace and blessings, family. Magick La Croix back with another video from Magick La Croix Productions. So today I want to tackle two topics today. It's going to be a joint video on how I got started personally, because I got a couple people coming to me asking me to explain how I got into the craft, and also invocation and the invocation techniques, or the invocation technique that I use. Okay, so to get started on this one, I just want to say that my humble beginnings started a long time ago. Not in the craft, but just to give you a little background on myself. I grew up Catholic. As hard as that is to believe now, I grew up going to a Catholic school, aspiring to be a priest. I would get up early for school, before school, just to go to the morning mass. That's how dedicated I was to Catholicism. Kind of broke out of that mindset around the age of 13. Normally, you break your programming at the age of 40. I broke it at a very young age because a lot of things didn't make sense to me, like all the angels, Jesus, God. Everybody's white. Everybody's Caucasian. And as I reflect back on that, I'm thinking, they taught us, these nuns in Catholic school taught us our history from slavery. And as I think about it, and as I reflect on it, it's like they were programming a whole community of black people, melanated people, with the mindset that people have now. Because as I look at the people like on Facebook and Instagram, I still see that these people that I grew up with, they still had the same mindset about some dude up in the sky and some dude below the ground fighting the eternal battle for your soul. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't make sense to me now. It really don't make sense to me, but it didn't make sense to me once I turned the age of 13. I actually wrote a poem about it called "I Remember 13." It's on my it's on my Facebook page. If any of you care to read it, to show you the mindset that I. So moving further along, I went from Catholicism to not believing anything, to once I got grown, I got into trying to be an apostolic. Somebody was trying to introduce me to that, saying that, a secret event would happen, 144,000 would be transported into the sky with Jesus. Okay, so that didn't work out for me. So then I got into the Nation of Islam from about the age of 23 to around the age of 25. And I credit the Nation with giving me knowledge of self as far as being a melanated person in America, and inspiring me to go further with the knowledge. A lot of things I disagreed with the Nation, like how women should be submissive to their husbands. I believe women and men to be equal parts of the same twin flame. To marinate on that for a second. I also disagree with the way you have to join the Nation. Is you have to copy a letter from that Elijah Muhammad wrote to the Master Fard Muhammad, and it has to be exact. And I got rejected because of that. And I was like, you know, that doesn't make sense. I mean, how am I copying somebody else's handwriting? I mean, you can do it, but your signature is your signature alone. It's like the DNA. Anyway, alright, so, leading up to that, 1997 is when I actually got into the occult. What happened was I saw my favorite movie of all time, The Craft, and it made me interested. I'm like, you know, having power over my own destiny, that's me right there. So what I did, I grabbed every book I could on Wicca and witchcraft. The very first book that I got was the Raymond Buckland's book on witchcraft. I believe that's the title, but it led me into other titles. I stayed on the Wicca path. I don't want to spend too much more time on this, but I stayed on the Wicca path until 2008. So it's been 7 years with me going strong. I tried to get teachers to, you know, teach me voodoo, palo, kimbanda, clip-off, goetia, the dark paths. Something told me that this is where the true power lay. And I couldn't, either I would get cryptic answers or I would get delayed, and I finally got fed up. And I said, oh, you know what, I'm going to go this alone. So, what I did, let me backtrack just for a second. I wasn't real strong when I was on the Wicca path because I still had a Christian mindset. And one of their creeds is to harm none. But that doesn't make sense to me. If somebody's trying to harm you, you want to try and be peaceful towards them? That makes sense. So, that was one of the reasons I started seeing a lot of things in Wicca that I didn't like, you know. So, once I started contacting the voodoo spirits, Papa Levitt specifically, that's when I started getting a taste of the energies of the voodoo deities. Now, just keep in mind that the voodoo deities, they're all our ancestors. They are your birthright if you are a melanated person. Okay? Don't let anyone fool you into thinking you needed to have an intermediary between you and the deities of voodoo or power. That would be the same as a Catholic priest interceding on your behalf with God, the supreme so-called deity that lives up in the sky somewhere. It's the exact same thing. There are a lot of unscrupulous priests and priestesses that are out there charging people insane amounts of money to get initiated into the cult. That's fine if you meet a foundation. That's fine. I mean, if you meet a God, you meet a God. I'm just speaking on my humble origins because I got tired of the cryptic answers. Oh, this is such and such. This will fuck you up. What they are saying is that you got to acclimate yourself. You really do have to acclimate yourself to the energies because the energies are very strong. They're very powerful. And every ritual that you do strengthens your astral body. Now, the astral realm, as I discussed on one of my other videos, is where the deities reside. Because they operate and they're composed of higher frequencies. So when you go to sleep at night, your astral body travels. The real vivid dreams, colorful dreams, very detailed dreams are actual astral travels. That's what you're doing. So, the more rituals you do, the more you communicate with the ancestors / the deities, the stronger your aura gets, the stronger your astral body gets. And you need that. when you travel, because there are deities and beings on the astral realm that will attack you. Not trying to scare you or anything like that. It happens. Some of the astrals where you have to run or you have to fight, those are real. Those really happen. So, like I said, one of the very first books that I got on voodoo was Milo Regard's Secrets of Voodoo. There's a difference between the voodoo religion and voodoo magic. The religion is the culture that came from Haiti and Africa, or from Africa to Haiti, and that it's composed of ceremonies and rituals, dance. It's a complete system within itself, and it is a religion that you follow. You can find YouTube videos on this, but voodoo magic is something totally different, because if you're just contacting the deities by way of the way I did it, the way I do it is, erecting an altar to Papa Legba, giving offerings, and then contacting one of the deities. That's voodoo magic, because you're not necessarily going the voodoo religion route. You're doing it a totally different way. Another one of the best voodoo books that I started working with was called Voodoo. It's called Voodoo Magics by Brother Moloch. Another one is Brother Moloch's books. I'm sorry, is called Voodoo Magic Course. Okay, that's a crash course into the magic of voodoo. The other book is by Brujo Negro. His is called Voodoo Magic. And once I got into, contacting the deities, and they would show up in my dreams and my astral travels, and then I'd get results, I saw that I was on the right path. So, this may piss off some voodoo saints, but, in this time and age, I think that we as melanated people need this information. We need to stop being scared of it. It is our birthright. There's nothing demonic, whatever the hell that means, about it. Okay. I also believe that the best way to contact the deities is the way that I contact them. This is a very good way. This is an invocation technique. Invocation simply means to draw within, versus evocation means to summon without. But you draw in the energy to you, and it becomes a part of you. It leaves an astral imprint. I believe, from my research and study, from years of doing it, that the deities are within, but they're also without. What I mean by that is that their DNA, their energies and their essences are already laying dormant within me. But I also believe that they are all actual deities. They actually were here at one time and still reside on the astral plane. I have many experiences that lead me to believe this. So, one of the best ways that I found to contact any deity, let's take Papa Legba for instance. You can Yamaya, Lasarin, Urzuli, Oshun, Shango, Ogun. Any of these deities you can summon. One of the ways that I've done it, and I've done it for years with great success, is that I would take one of their sigils, or their bebes, which is a spirit signature. In short, it's a spirit calling card, pretty much. And I also believe that the sigils, the way they are, once you meditate on that, you subtly rearrange your DNA to align with that particular energy, if that makes sense. So you take Papa Legba's sigil. It looks sort of like it's a cross, kind of. You can find it anywhere. You can find any of these deity spirit signatures online. Another book is by the Haitian Voodoo Handbook. Is another good one. I can't remember his name. He's a Hogan, which is a voodoo priest, who wrote this book, and he has every deity that he talks about has subsequently their veve for you to use. And one of the ways that I've done it is I take the veve, I draw it out. Of course, I said in my Papa Legba video, you feed him first, right? But when you draw out the sigil and you know their attributes and what they like, I meditate on the sigil. I meditate, I stare, I use theta, binaural beats, which is the deep meditation, till you focus on the sigil or the veve until it starts to flash and it starts to seemingly take on different shapes. You do that while saying, "Come, spirit name, I invoke thee, spirit name." You constantly say this while you're in deep meditation with the theta binaural beats running. And, you say your intentions and why you're requesting their assistance. Then not one of the ways, but you continue by, let me backtrack again. Before I even do any of this, what I do is I spit rum onto the spirit signature 3 times, and then I blow cigar smoke 3 times onto the spirit signature. Then I go into the meditation. Then I give the offerings, whatever it may be, cigar, rum, candy, prayer beads, candles, whatever. You can do your own research on the offerings. And then, I talk to the spirit as if it is in the room with me, like another person. That's very important. So let me repeat that. You talk to the spirit like it's in the room with you. Like another person's right there in the room. Some people will see images in their mind's eye. Some people will hear things. But it's a very subjective experience. So, that is what I wanted to cover today. I'll do a part 2, and I'll do Invocation the next time. And I hope this was enjoyable. I hope you got something out of it, and I hope you got a glimpse into my humble path. And with that, this is Magick La Croix. I wish you much peace and many blessings, and I will see y'all soon. Peace.